With the ladies on top, we're breaking boundaries, making moves, no time for insecurity. No time. We're chasing dreams, creating legacies. Boss Ladies Podcast, where we speak our truth. Boss Ladies unite, we're reaching for the sky. Empowered and strong, we'll never be denied. From the boardroom to the stage, we're making history. Boss Ladies Podcast, it's our time to shine. Come and join the ride.
Welcome back to the Boss Ladies Podcast. I'm your host, Hope. And once again, you know what I'm going to say. Another phenomenal woman is here. We have an RN, also a yoga instructor, a wonderful mother, and a beautiful wife. Let's welcome Miss Lesline Pittman to the podcast. Welcome.
Thank you, Hope.
I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us a little about Lesline.
Yeah, outside of my job, right?
Yes.
I'm getting better at that. I've heard that recently. Like, stop describing like what you do, but like who
are you?
Who am I? I'm learning how to live unapologetically. Just being my authentic self. That's who I am.
I love that. I'm on that journey as well. So I like that you caught yourself and said, I'm not a nurse. I'm a nurse. Mm-hmm. Yes. Because sometimes we forget we are always used to people telling us who we are. Now we're getting to know who we are personally. And that's what we want people to know. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your background. Where are you from? Where did you go to school?
Yeah. So I'm from Orlando.
Okay.
Born upstate New York in Goshen, New York, a very, very small town. We moved here when I was 8. Yeah, I was 8. So I was still really young. Thinking about it now with my son, like only like 2 years older than him is when we moved. And lived in, I'm a Florida girl though. Like that's now right. I'm like, when I go back up north or anywhere, I'm like, I love Florida. Like the weather, like I can't leave.
I was gone for 5 years and I was so glad to come back.
Where'd you go?
I went to Tennessee first.
Oh, okay.
And we lived in Knoxville for a couple of years. Then we moved to Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, okay.
And now we're back home as of 2022 and it's the best feeling ever.
You just came back.
I just came back. Oh. I love Florida.
Wow.
Yeah. So where did you attend college?
Yes. Went to Valencia. I was almost going to say Valencia Community College, but it is the state college thing happened when I was going there. So now I'm Valencia College for like my undergrad, all of that. Then I went to Florida Hospital College to get my associates as a nurse. Okay. And there's a whole story in that. I was telling my friend, actually yesterday I was talking to my friend about that, how I was so eager, and I still am a very eager person. I feel like that also is like a superpower of mine because it helps me be like the businesswoman that I am now. Okay. But when I finished Valencia, I was going to stay there to get my nursing degree because it's cheaper. Mm-hmm. But they're like, it's a 2-year wait list.
Wow.
Right. And so this is where the eagerness comes in. I was like, no, God don't like to hear wait.
Gotta do it.
I'm not good at that. And God is very funny with showing it in different ways, how I need to be patient. So then I found that Florida Hospital had a college, and they're like, yeah, we'll take you right now. Not right now, but it was like next semester. And I was like, say less. Got enrolled, and then I think that semester I started. If not the next semester, I got an acceptance letter from Valencia, like, hey, we're ready for you. And I was like, I thought they said 2 years. So I would have saved a lot of money. Mm-hmm. But anyways.
But was it worth it?
Going to Florida Hospital College? Yeah, retrospectively. Yes. In the thick of it, it was a lot. But it's given me the story. It's one, right, of like just my journey of being in nursing school, going through my nursing career, still am a nurse. And I'm actually back in school.
Really? What are you studying now?
Oh, gosh. I'm back in school to become a psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner.
Y'all hear that, ladies? We got help on the way.
Yes.
We got help on the way.
So yeah, I'm just finished actually my third semester.
So you're almost done.
No, it's like 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is not that long, but yeah.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about your family. You're married. Shout out hubby.
Yeah. Big shout out to Jamie. He likes to be behind the scenes. You might see him in content here and there, but he don't like the camera, which I understand. And he, when we were talking off camera, and you're asking questions about him, I was like, wow, he really has held me down so that I could go on this personal development journey.
Love it. Supportive husbands.
Yeah.
Love it.
But it's been hard. Communication can be challenging. And so with a lot of friendship, anything for me. But he's just been very good of knowing what I need and leaving me alone when I need to be left alone.
He's learning how we women operate.
It's like
yes. Sometimes we need our space. It doesn't mean we don't love them.
Right.
So let's get into your journey as an RN and a yoga instructor. Let's start from the beginning. Which came first?
Yeah. Yoga.
Talk about that a little bit. And why did you choose yoga?
Yeah. So my yoga journey started in 2009 by a friend, because that was summer of 2009. I just graduated high school, and my friend was like, hey, you want to come to a yoga class with me? And for any of the people out there that are yogis or whatever, it was a Bikram yoga class.
What is that?
Yeah, so Bikram yoga, it is hot yoga, but the style is from a guy named, I don't know his first name, but the last name is Bikram. Don't quote me on that, but it's like a person that made the certain poses.
Okay.
So in these yoga classes, you have to do pose 1 to 26. You can't do pose 6, then 1, then no, you have to do 1 to 26 in every single class, and it's in a heated room. They lock the door. It's it kind of sounds culty, whatever, but I liked it.
I've taken a hot yoga class twice before, so I did enjoy it.
Yeah. And so that was my introduction to yoga. There's a lot of things. If you look at Bikram yoga now, it's not, I guess, really exist anymore. Okay. But I liked it for the sense that as somebody that can be anxious, I liked that I knew what was coming. So it's like, okay, even though maybe I'm not going to get into the pose as well as the people in the front of the class, I'm like, oh, okay, well, last time I was here, and the next pose is this. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that relieved that. And then it was also that sense of community.
Yes.
I didn't realize that at the time, but that's what it was. And then just the feeling, I remember walking out of the yoga class, that first one, and I felt so good. I never felt like that before. So I just wanted that feeling over and over again.
So it could be like a good vitamin. I don't want to say drug. It's like a vitamin. Like your body needed that. Your mind and your heart needed it. And I felt this is interesting because I felt the exact same way. I was telling Dwayne when I came home, I was like, this is great. I would love to keep going. And every person in there is nice. Whether you're new, they speak, they come to help you. Yeah. And it actually relieves the body of a lot of unnecessary tension.
Yes.
I love it.
Because we don't realize how tense we are. And that's why I love teaching the classes too, most for me, but also for the clients in the class, because it just helps remind myself I'm tense. Why are my shoulders up to here, or why is my jaw clenched? It's that mindfulness aspect. I more so like talking about how do you I'm not really necessarily the posy type of person. Okay. I'm more so let's tap in mindful, just tap into simple ways that you can incorporate yoga in your everyday life.
Love it.
That's really the core of why I'm now doing what I'm doing.
So for you, it's different. You have some of these yoga instructors, they open, they want to and they want to tell you to talk to someone and open your third eye. But you're here to teach people how to connect with themselves, with your body, and let your body release the stresses of life, which is very, very important. And especially as mothers, I know that you have, we're going to get into that later, but I know that you created some cards for mothers. But when you talk about the yoga journey, how do you connect that with helping women?
Yeah.
Like, why did you choose yoga? Was it because it was special to you, or do you believe yoga also can help women as well?
Yeah. So like when I first started yoga in 2009, I didn't know all of this was to come. But then once I got certified as a yoga teacher in 2020, I just wanted to like show, I was like, okay, now I got the certification, because I think that's also like the nurse in me. Like I got, I passed the boards or whatever. So now I can go out in the world and like help other people, because I realize I'm just somebody I want to help. And I want to serve, and I want people to feel better, especially people that look like us, because a lot of the times we're struggling and we just think it's normal to live in the struggle.
That part.
And I get a little emotional about that, because I think of my own family, but I don't want to go in. But it just really grinds my gears, because I'm like, there's ways you can feel better. Like you don't have to live a life of struggle. You really don't.
And that's why you're here today, because I want you to continue to share with women and men and all of us that we don't have to be stressful. I used to be afraid of yoga because I was told it was, it was Satan, it was spiritualism. But those 2 classes I took, my body felt great. And that's what the purpose was for me. So what would you tell the ladies watching some benefits of yoga?
Yeah. And I just want to say, I like that. I'll answer that question, but I like that. What I'll say is this first.
Okay.
If you're interested in taking a yoga class or stretching, because I know the word yoga, okay. You need to come in with, what is your intention? When you set an intention, right? God, then you're clear with God of like what you're doing.
Right.
So there's no reason for it to be like, oh, I'm doing this Satan devil thing. If you had an intention of like, I'm doing this so that I can find peace, so that I can connect closer to God, so I can relieve the pain in my body.
Yes.
So if you go in before the class knowing that's your intention, then you should feel less convicted.
Love it. Yes. Thank you for sharing that, because there's a lot of people that have that thought. A lot of us like, well, I will never go to yoga. They're trying to get me caught up in a cult.
Right. And like I said, the first part of my story sounds culty. Like I'll be very frank with that. It does, right? But that's why whenever I teach yoga classes, and a lot of yoga classes that you go to, the teacher should be saying like, what is your intention? Why are you Hope coming to this class? Right?
Right.
So it's knowing that, okay, I had a conversation with God. I prayed about it. Right. And then knowing, like Hope, you said, I felt better.
I did.
God wants us to feel good. Like, it's just, I don't know.
It's
just
crazy, right?
Yeah.
Take something that's good and make it bad because of your personal opinions on it. So let's dive a little deeper into yoga.
Yeah, sorry. You can ask those two. I'm sorry.
No.
I made you like, I just had to get, because that's something that I hear a lot.
And I'm glad you took time to explain that, because people need to hear that. So how do you connect yoga with women? Like, how do you help women with that? What are when these women call Lesline or they're referred to you, what do you do? Where's your starting point? And why yoga? Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So, why yoga? I would say because as women in general, we're very like, we're always wanting to be a busy bee, doing something. So with yoga, I'm giving you something to do while at the same time teaching you how to be still, right? So once you know how to be still, also with that, as women, we have a lot more, we're at more risk for heart disease. So this is where my nursing but like we're at more risk for heart disease, diabetes, right? So by learning how to be still, what we're doing also is we're helping you lower your blood pressure. We're regulating your nervous system, right? So the yoga is the tool to help you holistically be better. That's the way I help women.
I love that. Yeah. Because you're RN, but you're using an outside technique to help health.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So let's go to being an RN. How do you use what you learned in your business of yoga?
Yeah. So, just, and I have to shout out my friend Brittany, who got me on this podcast. She's been better of like, talk about this, Lesline, because I'll just not talk about the nursing like stuff because anyways, let me focus on what you're asking me.
It's okay.
But, being a nurse, you see the same comorbidities happen. What are comorbidities? Things such as diabetes, high blood pressure. Those are like the two off the jump that a lot of people have, to the point where it's like normal and it shouldn't be, right?
Exactly.
So when I don't work in the hospital anymore. I work remote. But when I used to work in the hospital, I would see those same disease processes coming in over and over and over. Diabetes, high blood pressure, worst case stroke, right? Because they didn't manage their high blood pressure, right? So I saw all those things. And then so now when I started my wellness business, Lesline Does Wellness, I'm like, okay, knowing this, I can now use yoga and teach people, yoga poses that they can do, breathing techniques. If you're like, Lesline, I can't do the yoga. I just, you can breathe.
I hope so.
Gosh, so just showing these type of techniques that you can do to help, just help you relax.
So Lesline Does Wellness. Yeah. I love that. Because it's not saying only what you do, but what you do. Yeah. You do wellness. You had to learn that for yourself in order to teach others. So what is it like running a yoga business as an RN? Like, do your clients know you're an RN? Do they ask you for extra help with certain things because of that? Okay, so how did you start the yoga business as itself? Yeah.
So I started my yoga business in 2021, March 2021. Yeah. And at that time, I was trying to get out of nursing.
Really?
So I wasn't really saying I was a nurse. Okay. I was just like, yoga, like, let's talk about yoga. And then over the past year or so, I'm like, you know what? And having clients too who were like, I saw that you're a nurse, and they're like, that's why I came to you, because I trust you. Because nurses is like one of the most trusted professions. So they're like, that's why I came to you, because you have that healthcare background, and like that's important to a lot of people. People be talking crap about healthcare, which I'll talk about crap too about it. It's not, our healthcare system is very broken.
It is,
but we trust nurses more than doctors, so I hope I'm answering your question.
You are answering my question. You brought it together, and when you became a yoga instructor, you wanted to not get rid of it.
No, I did. You can say that.
You got rid of it.
I wanted to, but...
But you do realize that your clients come to you more because of that aspect. What is it like running yoga? What are your challenges and struggles running Lesline Does Wellness?
Yeah. I would say I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a friend, I'm a sister. I have so many roles. So it's like, and I still work my corporate job. So it's like, it's a lot of, I don't even like to use the word balance because that stresses me out. So it's just a lot of like figuring out what's important at this time. So it's just trying to figure out all those roles. I'll say, even though I don't like, it's trying to figure out how to balance all of the roles that I have and like not losing my shit.
Your mind?
My mind.
Yes. So prioritize.
Like, I don't want to curse.
We're not going to get hit. So prioritizing is very important.
Yes.
How do you balance being a mother and having, because I saw you on a boat. I was on your Instagram page, and you were on a boat teaching yoga. Where were the kids? Not necessarily, but how do you balance that with having because you have young kids?
I have young kids.
So how are you balancing clients and the children and the corporate. Like, I know you say you're trying to find a balance. What's your balance? Who helps you? What's your village?
Yeah, that. So who helps me? My husband. Like, he is very helpful. He's very involved. Like, I don't know. I feel like dads are supposed to be. But anyways, he's a very involved dad. So that just makes it easy for me. I was offered the opportunity to teach yoga on a cruise. It sounds like a dream, right? And it was. And I got to bring Jamie with me, all expense paid.
Nice.
The kids were home with family. And so that was like project management, having to like organize their care because we had never left. Like, that's a whole nother conversation I want to share too. Not like today, but that was kind of scary because we had never left them together. If I'm going somewhere, usually I'd be just trepsing around, Jamie's home with them. But for us both to leave, it was like, okay, we gotta make sure this is in order, that's in order. Like, my mom knows how to do X, Y, and Z in the house, and that, Lennox likes this snack, and Violet likes this, but it's like all those little nuanced things that I don't have to explain to Jamie, but other people you have to explain. I have a family here. Okay. I have a good amount of family, not a lot, but I have, my immediate family's like lives in this area. So it's really learning, especially since being a mom, my communication has gotten better because I have to advocate for myself, or else I'll go crazy,
yes,
if I try to do it by myself.
I'm glad that you're honest about that, because there are a lot of women who try to act like I got it all and I can do it, but behind the scenes they're alcoholics and sniffing drugs because they're trying to like do it all, and you can't do it all by yourself.
Right.
I'm happy that we have someone here from wellness, because wellness is so broad.
Yes.
Why did you personally choose wellness outside of RN, outside of yoga, but did those industries lead you there, or is this something you always wanted to do?
The industries led me there.
Okay.
Yeah, the industries for sure. And just knowing how God is always like over my life. Amen. Because like it's just the industries I'm in, being in the healthcare field, but I wouldn't have known, like, now that I don't want to say wellness is trending, but like more people since the pandemic are like, okay, I really need to take care of myself. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, look at me. I have my business now where I can help those people. So it's just, it almost gives me goosebumps just to know, like, yeah, it's the industries. Being in the industry has helped me get to this point of like wellness. And that was also something I didn't want to, like, Lesline does yoga, because I remember at the time when I was figuring out what is my LLC gonna be, blah blah blah, and some like God, it was like, don't just limit yourself.
Yes.
Don't just limit yourself. I didn't understand. And with God too, at least for me, it's not really clear like that. It's
not
really
all the time.
For me, it's like hindsight. I could be like, oh, like that's what he was saying. But at the time, it's just like this feeling I get of like, no, it can't be Lesline does yoga. Like, there's more that I want you to do.
Exactly. And that's what I wanted you to say. There's more to you than just yoga. There's more to you than just RN. Yeah. There's more to you than a mom and a wife. So wellness is it's a broad spectrum, right? So in the wellness industry, what are some things you have to stay atop of? Is there continuing education courses? Do you just learn the poses and you're done? Or what does yoga look like as an instructor?
That's a really good question. So I got my certification. So with becoming a certified yoga teacher, and there's actually, I should know this better. There's like a different, So you can be a certified yoga teacher or a registered yoga teacher. Okay. A registered yoga teacher, you're registered with the Yoga Alliance, which is like this this type of organization that has like guidelines. Gotcha. So I'm not a registered yoga teacher. I'm a certified yoga teacher, meaning I got a certification from a yoga school. And with yoga certifications, you have the 200 hour, and then you have 500 hour. I have the 200. So I got the 200 in 2021. I officially got that. And then there are continuing education that you can take. There's so many, actually, so many different things, continuing education wise, that you can do through like the Yoga Alliance, and any, other schools, yoga schools out there.
So when you talk about the Lesline Does Wellness,
Yes.
check it out, LeslineDoesWellness.com.
Thank you.
Where do your clients come from? Do you have a studio? Do you travel to them? How did you get your name out there?
Yeah, so because I got my certification at the 2021, right? It was 2021. Well, no, technically it was December 20th, 2020. Okay. I've passed the test. And then I LLC'd March 2021. And so notice I said 2020, 2021, we really couldn't go nowhere. So it was social media. It was social media.
So you started posting yourself, doing these things, and you got clients.
Yeah, it was not like instant.
Right.
But I posted, like, if you go all the way, because some of the stuff I'm like, I'm not going to archive some of this. I want to, so you'll see me like in yoga poses, breathing, like that kind of stuff. Because like I also have gotten like I've had mentors. Like that's also ways I continue my education within yoga. I have like my own yoga mentors and things like that shared with me like ways that you can, promote yourself online.
Okay. So having a wellness business, how has that impacted you positively? Personal growth.
Yeah.
Because we all know as entrepreneurs, if you're not growing up, you're fizzling out. So how did going into wellness, being a yoga instructor, having that RN behind you, how did that take your business to the next level? Yeah.
I don't even know how to fully like internally I felt like that answer, but I don't know how to verbalize it. I used to be very shy and like introverted. I'm not that anymore. I think I'm an ambivert now.
What's an ambivert?
I don't fully know, but it's like where you, depending on the environment, I will be like, oh wow, you seem like you really are out, like extroverted. Okay. It's not that I'm extroverted. It's just like depending on who I connect with, I can like talk all day. But some spaces I'm in, I will be mute.
And sometimes we have to be mute in some spaces.
Yeah. So it's just helped me being an entrepreneur. It's just helped me to communicate better. It's helped me just understand people better, not to take things personal. I still do though. I like to say that I have not overcome taking these personally yet. But I'm able to be more self-aware. Also realize too, like, just like, Brittany's better at this part if she was here. I mean it in the sense of this, like being an entrepreneur is like, it's really, not that I want to change the world. That sounds so grand, like, but I just want to make an impact. And I just know like I'm here to serve and help. And like, we're all into this together.
But you are changing the world because there's only one Lesline Pittman, right?
Well, yes. I was going to say, because my mom's Lesline, but she has a different name. I was named after her.
There's only one you, and only you can bring what you have been bringing to the world.
Yes, you're right.
And now I want to get into some juicy, exciting stuff because I think it was right after I sent you the invite or right before. Yeah. I'm seeing Tabitha Brown.
I know.
Talk about your product. So tell us a little bit about you just had a baby deck cards. Okay, so you're an RN, you teach yoga, and now you're making baby cards. So tell us about that.
Yeah, it was like you reached out and then like a week later. So my cards they're self-care cards for new moms. You just had a baby, pun intended, like because of my own journey as a mom. So these cards just help new moms prioritize their physical and mental health.
And that came from you going through what you went through. Did this come after the first child? The second child. Okay. Share one of the cards. What are some of the questions?
Yeah. And they're not questions.
Oh, okay.
They're, because I have a lot of card decks. It's something I just love to buy for personal development reasons. And sometimes I'm like, I don't know. Like when I see the question, just tell me what to do. Like, so just how especially as a mom, as a new mom, you're overwhelmed. So one of the cards is connect with nature. Take a nature stroll with your little one in their stroller. Make sure to take it easy. No breaking a sweat now. Just focus on connecting with nature and your precious new baby. Wow. So that's one of the cards. And in the back, they're all the same on the back with the logo. But going back to, I don't I do like introspective questions. I'm not saying in this sense, but sometimes you don't have the time. Right now I have the dedicated time to speak with you. But when you're home and the hustle bustle of the kids, in those 5 minutes, you just be like, okay, which card am I going to, what is my focus going to be today for me? Connect with nature. That's what you're going to do today.
And I like how you tell them exactly what to do and what not to do, because I'm speaking about women. Like you said, if you tell me exactly what to do, because sometimes when we are on level 10, we need to be brought back down to level 1.
Exactly.
Congratulations. You sold out in the same day.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tabitha Brown.
Yes, Auntie Tab. That was wild. Because of how I'll say, I like to share how, because people think, how did you get on there? So I have a really supportive community. It gives me goosebumps, how I'm just incredibly supported and loved on that I am, and I'm finally learning how to receive that. So a friend of mine, shout out to my friend Candace, she DM'd me. You just be sending friends DMs. She DM'd me last year, okay, at the end of last year, and was like, hey, you should apply for Very Good Monday. And I was like, what? Because at the time, this was not an idea yet. It was anyways, okay. It was not an idea yet. I had something else. I had a different product that flopped, okay? And so I was like, okay. So I applied, and then 4 months later, they reached out. And then they're like, but we can't guarantee, da-da-da. And then I had to, sign an NDA and everything, when they reached out. Mind you, saying they can't guarantee. But they're like, you guys sign this NDA because we don't want you to be like, oh my God, that Tabitha Brown, reached out to me. Because people be So that was a couple months ago. And in that time, because I told you, when Candace reached out, told me last year to apply on the idea. So within that time, I came up with this. And I was like, I'm going to send her this instead. And so then, fast forward, I sent the product, blah, blah. And then when you guys found out, I found out.
You found out the same day we did?
They don't,
That was awesome.
I know. I was like, it's
shocking.
Because it was I am Tabitha Brown. One of my reels I show you, literally the notification came on my phone. I am Tabitha Brown tagged you in a reel. And I was like,
is this for real?
I was like, is this spam?
Congratulations. That's awesome to sell out in one day.
Yeah, one day.
Yeah, I sent that to everybody they knew who you were. And they're like, who is this?
That.
Oh, she's coming on the show and her product sold out. And oh, okay. Tabitha Brown, because it was, what's the word I want to use? It was a beautiful thing to see another woman product in another woman's hand advertising it positively. So I wanted to let other women see that. So how does these deck of cards specifically help new mothers?
Yeah. So when you come home with the baby, or if you have the baby at home, wherever, but once, after those first couple weeks, because those first 2 weeks are really, really hard. I remember the pediatrician, he was like, these first 2 weeks, it's rough. It's expected, but just know it's rough, right? So after those first 2 weeks, you realize, well, I don't want to say you realize, but you're like, okay, you need to do something for yourself. Mine is taking a shower and that kind of stuff. You need to do, because that in itself is a whole thing.
I heard.
It is, yeah. So you need to do other things though for yourself so that you can come back to you. And it's not even come back to you because you're completely different when you after you have your kid and stuff. And that's another conversation too, grieving the past you and now this new you. So these cards, like I said, though, so like every, ideally, and I got to update because I'll put like instruction card, but ideally you wake up before, you take care of the baby and you just pick a card, right? Mm-hmm. So this card we pick now says tech free time. Put your phone on do not disturb for 1 hour and play with your baby. So it's like a twofer, right? Because a twofer in the sense that you're not going to get any disruptions from anybody around you. And then you can really connect with your baby. And all of these cards are things that like I struggled with.
And that's what makes them so genuine.
Yeah.
They're coming from you. So what has been the feedback from some mothers with the cards?
Yeah. The feedback has the first thing I'll say is the conversation that has come up from this, like it being featured on Tabitha Brown and her explaining to her brother, like, he's like, what is postpartum? Like, why are women depressed after having a baby? Like those, and then her explaining and not being judgmental.
Exactly.
Like that's the part too, because it's like, a lot of like men generally want to know, like I know we be talking crap about men, but they want to help. They want to help. And I've even sold this to dads who are like, oh, okay. And I told them how to use it. I said, it was funny. One of the dads was like, I'm not going to tell my wife like about the cards. I'm just going to pick a card and then go up to her and be like, hey, honey, so today you need to do X, Y, and Z. And I was like, whatever.
Cute.
Whatever you want to do, that'll help you. But I also remember with my husband, he wanted to help so bad, but he didn't know what to do. So as a husband, you can take a card and be like, hey, honey, like, maybe today let's go out for a walk to connect with nature, right? Because men, they don't know. They can't read your mind, right? So it's been good feedback. Grandmas have bought it for their, their daughter-in-laws. So it's just been really great feedback. And just knowing from other moms, it's like actionable items.
I love it. Actionable items. And men, did you hear it? There are men buying it too.
Yes.
So get them for your brother-in-laws, get them for your brothers, even your dad. Some of y'all got weird situations, but these people out here having babies at 80, but they need it. I love that it's not just for women; it's geared toward women, but it's for men because without a man, a woman can't have a baby.
Right.
And then husbands and wives can grow closer after the baby instead of further apart, as you said, postpartum, and so many different issues women deal with. Thank you for coming to the show.
You're welcome.
And sharing what you do. And I already told you off camera, you and I are getting together because I need some yoga for my wellness, and I'm going to record it so you ladies can see, what's going on and how I'm doing. But I'm really excited about that. So, do you have any other jobs that you do?
I know. It's like that joke too. Jamaicans have like so many jobs.
Exactly.
And I didn't know that joke until I'm like in it. Anyways.
Yes. What else do you do?
That's it.
That's it. No, you're a content creator.
I am a content creator.
Yes, because if you go to her Instagram page, oh my goodness, every day, and you're a mom of two. How do you do it?
I know.
So you're a content creator. You're an RN. You're a yoga instructor.
Oh, there's other things.
Okay.
Keep going though. I just remember.
And you're
the creator of You Just Had a Baby.
What else you just remember?
Yeah. I am the director of a nonprofit called Women on the Rise Orlando, which has also really helped me personally, professionally connect with other women locally in the community. And that is just shout out to Arlene. She's the founder and executive director of that organization. And I love that organization down. I really do. It's amazing.
I just found out they have a workshop today. I'm going to miss it, but they're going to let me know next time so I can be there. Yes. So any women that you want to shout out to be a guest to highlight their business here on the Boss Ladies podcast? Yeah.
So two, Arlene Blake, the executive director and founder of Women on the Rise International, and then Merlene Colbert, her business Beauty by Merles.
Okay. Yeah, I think I've seen her on Instagram.
Yeah,
I definitely do want to get her on here as well. Any questions or comments for me?
No, this was this is like my favorite podcast to do so far. Like,
thank you. Yeah. What made it one of your favorites?
Yeah. I don't know, you just how your energy is just really nice.
Thank you.
And then I know I mentioned Brittany a lot, and I'm sorry.
That's your best friend.
She's one of my, she really is.
Yeah.
Just speaks volumes of like, cause she was like, yeah, you need to come on here, and like I trust her, and just your energy is not similar, because we're all unique.
I got you.
But I just really like being in this space. It just feels good.
Thank you. And we enjoyed having you here. And you said a few things during the podcast. You said that's another topic for another day. And that's another topic for another day.
She just calling me out.
Yes, but to be honest, what I'm saying, those topics need to be had among women. So you're going to have me over here thinking about a special podcast day for the boss ladies to come on and talk about some other things. So thank you for saying that. And
I shouldn't have said that.
No, I'm glad you said it. That's how we keep going.
No, yeah, I
That's
got
how
you.
we
I'm being
keep going.
silly.
So again, thank you, Miss Lesline Pittman, for being a guest and gracing the Boss Ladies podcast. And we'll see you again one day.
Yeah.
And ladies, always remember, we can do whatever we want as long as we keep moving forward. Later.
No time. We're chasing dreams, creating legacies. Boss Ladies Podcast, where we speak our truth.